Good morning, all. Today we will be discussing the fifth module. Fifth module contains two topics. First topic is in different index structures. The different index structures used for faster retrieval of data files from the disk. And second one is query optimization technique. Second part is query optimization techniques. Before going to the details of index structures, let us discuss disk storage device. What is disk storage device? The primary medium for long-term storage of data. Usually the entire database is stored in magnetic disk. As you know, the magnetic disk is a permanent storage media, unlike the primary memory. High storage capacity and low cost. These are the two properties. High storage capacity in terms of TBs and low cost, MB per cost. The system must move data from disk to main memory so that they can be accessed. Whenever the data needs to be accessed, a particular block of data that is stored in the disk needs to be transferred from the disk to the main memory. Data stored as magnetized areas on magnetic disk surfaces. What is a disk pack? A disk pack contains several magnetic disks connected to a rotating spindle. Disks are divided into concentric circular tracks on each disk surface. Each disk surface is divided into number of tracks. This is an example. This shows the upper part. This shows a single-sided disk with read-write hardware. This one shows a disk pack with read-write hardware. Read-write hardware, this is read-write head. It is connected to an arm. The platters are connected to a spindle. These platters or the surfaces will be rotating, and you can move the read-write head in to and fro directions. For whenever you want to access data from a particular track, what is required? First, the read-write head needs to be moved to that particular track. Then a rotation. What's the minimum time to rotation? Minimum 0 and maximum 1 complete rotation is required to find the corresponding sector. That means the tracks are divided into sectors. Track is divided into smaller sectors. The division of track into sectors is hard coded on the disk surface and cannot be changed. That is, this division, one type of sector organization calls a portion of track that subtends to a fixed angle at the center of this center as a sector. You can see this diagram here. A portion of angle, this is a sector. That means this part is a sector, this part is another. In a track, that much part is a sector. Whereas this is another organization where the inner tracks, which is having lesser circumference, will be containing less number of sectors, whereas the outer tracks will be containing more number of sectors. This is a common form of track and sector division. Now, actually, there is another term, block. Block means whenever you are asked to retrieve data from the disk, actually the data is retrieved in terms of blocks. A block may contain number of sectors, a single sector or multiple sectors. Actually, block size is fixed by the OS. That depends on the operating system that we are using, and this block size is fixed during the disk formatting also. The block size B is fixed and cannot be changed dynamically. Typical block size ranges from 512 bytes to 8192 bytes. Whole blocks are transferred between disk and main memory for processing. That is, whenever a data is read from the disk, that means a block of data is read from the disk. Okay. And a read-write head moves to the track that contains the block to be transferred. Whenever you want to retrieve data from the disk, the read-write head will be moved to the corresponding track. Then by disk rotation, the blocks under the read-write head for reading and writing. For the physical disk block, address consists of a cylinder number, a track number, and a block number. What is cylinder here? A cylinder means there are different disk surfaces. All surfaces, all tracks in different disks with the same radius constitute a cylinder. A cylinder here is, for example, a cylinder here is, this is a track. Correspondingly, this platter will also have the same radius track, and next one also. All such track constitute a cylinder. Therefore, to retrieve a data, what is required is you want a cylinder number, then a track number, then what is required? A cylinder number, imaginary collection of tracks of same radius from all recorded surfaces, a track number or a surface number within the cylinder, a block number that is within the track. Therefore, a physical disk block address consists of all the three constituent. And reading and writing disk block is time consuming because of the seek time S and rotational delay RD. What is seek time? Seek time is time required to move the read write head to the corresponding track, whereas rotation delay is the delay for finding the respective sector under the head. The rotation delay can be minimum. What is the delay possible? Minimum is 0, maximum 1 complete rotation. Now we will see another thing, records. Data is usually stored in the form of record. Each record consists of collection of related data values or item. For example, name, date of birth, salary, supervisor, address, many fields. The entire data corresponding the entire data is known as a record. It can be of fixed or variable length record. Why variable length record? For example, the name attribute. Name attribute is a variable one, which can be vary from 30 to 50 character. The corresponding record will also having a variable length record. Fields themselves may be fixed or variable length. Spanned and unspanned record. A record is collection of data spanned and unspanned. What is spanned means? Span means record can span in more than one block. That is, if the block size is, for example, block size is 4092 bytes, and let us have a record whose size is more than 4092 bytes. In that case, that record is spanned into more than one block. And span means record are not allowed to cross the block boundaries. Whatever the block boundary or block size that we fixed, all the record must be less than that. This is different from spanned, and unspanned is different from fixed and variable length record. Variable length record means a record which is having variable length. All the records are not of the same size. Okay, that's what the difference. A fixed length records means all the record. For example, 100 bytes. A record size is 100 means all the records will be having 100 bytes. Whereas variable length means first record may be 100 bytes, second one is 150, third one is 125, like that it can change. Spanned and unspanned is different concept. Spanned means it may span in more than one block, whereas unspanned is records are not allowed to cross the block boundaries. Blocking factor. Blocking factor means number of records per block. Refers to storing number of records in one block of disk. BFR, blocking factor. There may be empty space in a block if an integral number of records do not fit in one block. For example, consider the case where our block size is 2048 and the record length is, let us assume it is 100 bytes. That is, block size is 2048 and record length is 100 bytes. Then how many records will fit on that block? that is 2048 divided by 100, that you can have 20 and remaining 48 byte. What will be the use of 48 bytes? 48 bytes cannot be used because a record here is 100 bytes and that 48 bytes is uh, lost. There may be empty space, that will be an empty space. Therefore what is here is b minus, b is the block size, minus bfr into r. Bfr is blocking factor. Blocking factor is how many records that can be fit into a block into r. R is the number of records that gives this many bytes will be byte will be free in that. Now we'll see files also.